GTO sitting Porsche, Jeff Lister and Terry Reimer failing to make the start as they roll towards the grid. Good formation, they'll get the go this time. Marcus Fothergill, third in GT inside Martin Byford in the second NCK Marcus on his right. There's Mark Sumpter in the blue GTO Porsche ahead. Very crowded through Clervaux. Lotus the leader, the TVR is off on the dirt. He's been shoved off by Stephen Radcliffe. On board with Mark Sumpter, sixth overall. Ahead is Mike Yules in the white GT2 Porsche. Somebody's kicking up the dirt there, or some smoke maybe. And there with one headlamp ablaze and a damaged nose is Ian McKellar Jr. in the TVR Speed 12. The Lotus leads from the Marcus, the Lister and the rest of the field, but it looks like McKellar is going to be forced into the pits at the end of the lap. Goes around Terry Pudwell's Ultima. The bonnet may even fly before he gets there. The top two breaking away, Lister and Viper, third and fourth. Porsche and Porsche, fifth and sixth ahead of Andrew Chester's Camaro. Well, let's hope that body stays on. It flew off at Thruxton earlier in the season when McKellar had a high speed off. This doesn't look to be quite so damaged, though. Well, starting at the back of the grid, working his way through traffic, he must have made contact at the first corner. Here on the right-hand side of the picture, there is the TVR. Hits the back of the yellow Porsche as the Porsche is forced, and the TVR Speed 6 is edged off into the gravel. And that in turn caused this, a right rear puncture on Rob Bath's TVR Speed 6, and he is heading to the pits as slowly as he can. Along with the big sister, both TVR cars in the pits. Tank tape for one, a new tyre for the other. Looked as though Stephen Radcliffe was coming in to retire. That's the GTO Viper of Kilian Koenig. Low at the left rear, a puncture or broken suspension, and that will put him out as well. Rob Bath waiting for a new tyre. He's a lap down. He crept round very slowly to the pits to make sure he didn't damage it. End of lap two, the Lotus leads the race as we run. Chris Ellis in first position, down to Clervaux, misses the apexes. Andy Purvis slingshots past him into the lead. The pole man takes the lead for the first time. Warnock's Black Lister in third, the fire-breathing Viper of Stephen Day, the GT class car in fourth place, then the GT Porsche in fifth. This is Mike Yules in the white machine, hoping for a finish this time out, retired in the last two races. The GTO Viper in the pits, looking like Curtis Hales won't get a drive today. And the patched up TVR at Tower, ahead of the leaders, the Marcus, the Lotus, the Lister and the Viper queuing up behind him. Let's see what he's in a straight line with that hastily patched up nose. He's still pretty quick through the flat out S's, but off in a huge way goes the Lotus, spearing off absolutely unchecked across the gravel and into the field.
I've had a big off. Sorry, I've had a big off. I'm okay.
Whew, bad day for the Lotus team. Chris's teammate had his helmet stolen earlier, but he won't need it now anyway because the car's out. Well, Chris is getting out, and let's have a look at the onboard camera and see if we can find out what happened. Online into the S's, gets the first apex, it's sliding, and he just doesn't catch it, but look how fast he goes off. That was a real high-speed one.
It's a race we should have won. We should have been on pole, we should have won. Should have had my helmet stolen. We should be right up there in the championship, and we're just not getting any...
Mixed fortunes for Par Motorsport as well. Their GTO car is out, but the GT Viper with Stephen Day harrying Dave Warnock for second place going well. On with Warnock, tiny windscreen, down to Tower he comes, he's mile apex, and that means that Stephen Day's made a passing manoeuvre. Can Warnock get him back on the way out? No, he can't. Front, Andy Purvis looking well in control in the yellow Marcus, but what's wrong with it? Something coming off on the boot lid. The boot lid has come up like a 1950s Mercedes air brake. And look, there's Chris Ellis, very disappointed. Oh, and another incident. Stephen Stokoe's Marcos and Andrew Chester's Camaro. Marcus continues. The Ultima comes past it. That'll be a change for 9th place for Terry Pudwell. And the safety car is out. Camaro didn't get out of the way there. Well, the top three go through. The Marcus losing all that early advantage to and the Lister. That boot lid will slow them right. Bobby Verden-Rowe brings the TVR in for a quick change. The pit lane is open. Window for changing is open. He takes over. That's very quick thinking indeed. That may make up for some of their earlier misfortune. There's Andrew Chester's Camaro. That's at the exit of Sunny. And here's the replay. Well, a collision between the two. And the Marcus quite badly damaged. The safety car starts a second lap, and the leaders this time going into the pits, the Marcos and the Viper. And will the Lister go with them? Well, Mark Sumter is now the race leader. The Lister does go in. The GTO Porsche carries on. Now, that's strange. Mike Jordan normally does most of the race anyway. Maybe Sumter wasn't in communication with the pits, didn't realise what was going on. The Marcus pit stop. Out gets Purvis. In gets Erdos. Don't forget the race leaders when they came in. Fixing that as their teammates come in behind. Martin Byford pulled out. Formula Palmer driver Justin Keen to take over. Paul Fuller gets in for Marcus Fothergill. Yules hands over to Harvey. Warnock has handed over to Dean, and off goes the Lister. Was that the fastest of the changes? Yes, there goes the Par Viper, and the Marcus is losing positions over Fist now as they finally get going. Keen ready for his first GT drive, but there goes the erstwhile leader down in third place. Amanda is with Andy Purvis.
Andy, quite a slow stop there.
Yeah, we had a problem with the boot lid, and they said if we didn't fix it, they would black flag us, so we didn't have any choice but to spend a little bit more time and tape the boot lid down. It's unfortunate we've now gone from position 1 to position 3.
After the safety car pulling off, Mark Sumter, the race leader and the GTO class leader, but he still needs to stop. The Marcus of Andrew Davis there. Then Sean Balfe in the GTO Lotus Esprit in third place. Cunningham is chasing in the Viper. Next up, Richard Dean about to lap the Speed 6 TVR. There is your race leader. The Viper now working his way through the traffic. Cunningham in second place. Is he smoking? Yes, he is. Heavy smoke from the right rear, and surely that means a puncture. Richard Dean passes him. Smoke pouring off the right of the Viper, and it looks like the Par Motorsport bad weekend continues. Here Marcus, through he goes. He's got Tim Harvey right with him in the GT2 Porsche, but it's not a puncture. It's here now from Stephen Day, who's with Amanda.
I'm not sure what, I don't think Neil's actually said anything yet, but something's happened to the rear of the car, which very unfortunate because we've just got the lead. The team did a fantastic job in the pits, and we got out first.
Well, a very disappointed team. The car making its way back to the... What happened? Well, it looks like he's got a broken right rear suspension. Have a look again, away from the safety car, through the chicane the first time, thunders it over the curbs, and look, when he lands from this, yeah, the right rear drop, it was gone there already. Here comes the GTO leader, fourth place overall into the pits. Well, Sumter was quicker when he was out on his own than he might normally expect to be, but only by a few seconds, and that looks like a big tactical error. Certainly is. Race leader Richard Dean just a few seconds ahead of Thomas Erdos in the pole-sitting Marcus, but it's closer than that in GTO. Jordan, 29 seconds down when he took over the car, pulled it back in 19 laps, now right with Paul Fuller. This is for the lead. Right behind him at Tower on the back bumper, headlights ablaze. Fuller runs wide, and Jordan slots past, gets alongside him, down to the S's. He's got the advantage, and there, the GTO class lead back with the Paragon team. It's been a time coming, and that really as a result of that muffed pit stop strategy, but a great piece of driving by Mike Jordan once more. Richard Dean's time out front made a lot easier as the Marcus spins away second place, drawing the Porsche of Tim Harvey. And with all the retirements, despite being down in the battered Speed 12, Bobby Verdenroe is now in fourth. The Paragon team urging on Mike Jordan. He only has a few car lengths over his class rival. And there are signs that the car is missing. It may be running out of fuel in the dying moments. Marco Attard in the Lister locks up, goes wide in his attempt to clear of leader Richard Dean. Tim Harvey is close, just 3 seconds down. Richard Dean holds it all together. The checkered flag awaits. No repeats of the embarrassment of Croft last time out. Dave Warnock salutes the car's 5th victory in the GT class and overall. A heroic effort. Helps a bit by the misfortune of others. A heroic effort for Mike Jordan, but he's run out of fuel, the final corner, and here comes Paul Fuller trying to take it at the line. It's going to be very close indeed, and Jordan weaves a little bit to make sure that they take it, and that is as close as you like.